This is the CHRILLCAST. I'm Chris.
And Will.
And today is Throwback Thursday.
Why do I have Fable in the background? I'm gonna change that.
Because you do. Because you're weird. I don't know. So Halo 5, The Guardians. What do we have to say about that? Well, today is Throwback Thursday, so we usually cover everything we know about this game. What do we know?
This one instead. All right. What was your question? I was too focused on the background.
So we usually cover everything to do with Halo, whatever we're covering on Throwback Thursday. So what do we know about Halo 5?
Oh, it sucked.
Oh. Oh, sorry. Okay, Halo 5 The Guardians. Halo 5 Guardians is a first-person shooter video game developed by 343 Industries and published by Microsoft Studios for the Xbox One. The 5th mainline entry and 10th overall.
Came out on my birthday. They did me dirty.
The 5th mainline entry and 10th overall in the Halo series. It was released worldwide on October 27, 2015, and is now 5 years old. But we missed the anniversary due to my daughter being born, and we had /frag host. Shout out to them. And then Billy, Timmy, and Will did a full week without me. Sad.
Yep. It was wonderful. I had so much freedom.
I know. Will just went on dictator mode and took over the podcast.
Yep.
The game's plot follows two fire teams of human super soldiers. Blue Team, led by Master Chief, and Fire Team Osiris, led by Spartan Locke, which, if you noticed in the same token podcast, I meant to say Halo Fire Team Osiris, not Halo Blue Team as the spin-off title, but nobody corrected me, so that's fine.
I just figured that's what you meant. So.
Yeah, I did. So when the former, as in Master Chief's team, the Blue Team, goes absent without leave to track down the artificial intelligence construct Cortana, Master Chief's loyalty is called into question, and Fire Team Osiris is sent to retrieve him, which was a really cool team that turned into kind of a bland storyline. 343 Industries started to plan concepts and objectives for Halo 5 shortly after the release of its predecessor, Halo 4. In late 2012, the team set out goals for the game, including larger campaign and multiplayer areas. And like Halo 4, it uses motion capture for character animation. It features new abilities and character designs, but does not feature any offline capabilities or local networking. It has a game engine that scales its resolution to maintain a frame rate of 60 frames per second, which is good. I like having the constant frame rate. I don't care if the frame rate.
It should have been at 30 so I could have played some freaking co-op with my buddies and on my couch. They cut it out so they could have the 60 frames.
Let me finish my thought here, Will.
No.
I don't care if the frame rate's fast. I just want it to be constant.
Okay.
So, that's what I was saying. I'm glad that they made it 60.
It was inconsistent into the Series X, but we don't have to talk about that.
I mean, I would have been fine with 30 is what I'm saying. I just want it to be a constant frame rate. That's what I was applauding them for, was a constant frame rate, not specifically 60. And here we are watching a YouTube within a YouTube video within a YouTube video. So
I love it.
That's awesome. Shout out to Late Night Gaming. So what do you remember about Halo 5's gameplay, the marketing, the release, all that fun stuff? What do you remember?
So I'll talk about the marketing. The marketing had me super hyped up for this game. So they had the SoundCloud podcast thing where it's Hunt of Truth, and I was super pumped for that. The storylines, it seemed like a smaller storyline where it's Chief is going AWOL and we don't know why. And it's you're hunting the truth, as Locke, trying to figure out why Master Chief is doing that. And in my mind, I had this all built up where you would play through the campaign as Locke and you get to the end and whatever happened, happened. But then you would start it over again and you'd play through the whole campaign as Master Chief. And you have the branching paths, remember in Star Fox 64, how you could go one planet path versus the other planet path, but you still ended up being that monkey android guy. I can't remember his name. That's how I thought it was going to go. So when I actually got the game, and it plays fine. I've gone through it multiple times since, and it's fine. It's a fun game. But that story just really let me down. And as I said in the very beginning, it just sucked. It was a sucky story. It had potential. They just did not fulfill that potential at all. However, going back to gameplay, I really like the multiplayer. I think the arena is the strongest that it's been since Halo 3. The Warzone is fun. It leaves a lot to be desired, and I see where they could go with it. And I hope they keep it in Infinite, but expand upon it. And I really like the Warzone firefight. It'll never replace original firefight for me, but it's still really enjoyable, and I play that frequently.
I agree. It is a misleading marketing campaign, but the game is actually fun.
Mhm.
That's what I remember about Halo 5. I do remember the first time I played it, I was like, this is Power Rangers in space. What am I
Yep.
doing? And that was basically where I stopped the first time. I was like, man, I just don't feel like finishing this game. But now that I've revisited it 5 years later, I do really enjoy the
Yeah.
gameplay itself. And Will has a visit from the Master Chief who's going to take him down for bad mouthing this game. But no, I heard the door open and footsteps coming near you. That's why I was laughing
Yeah. No.
about it. So I guess the next question is Halo 5 is not coming to PC. Why?
Not yet, at least. So I think that um, it's so close to the Infinite release that it just doesn't make sense. I think, and also you cannot add that to the MCC. The
No.
MCC is already such a huge freaking game, and it's getting bigger every day because they're adding in the almost microtransactions. So they have the seasons and everything like that. You don't buy anything yet, but I can see that eventually you will be buying those skins. And I'm not necessarily against that because they're finally giving us more to those games than what we originally had. So I'm okay with it. But with Halo 5, that's also a huge game. So I think it's going to take them a lot longer to optimize that for PC. And they also got to think about how they're going to do it. Because like I said, for MCC, I'm now seeing why they actually put the effort into it, other than finally putting it at the standard that it should have been to begin with. I see them being able to make it into a service game, like a live service game. I don't see that with Halo 5. You're not going to be able to pack it in with the MCC because the whole microtransaction that it has its own game. The UI is super different. I don't think it will layer well with those older games. And the amount of time it's going to take, Infinite's already going to be out, so it's going to, overshadow a PC release of Halo 5, which was already a divisive game. I do think that maybe if they put the multiplayer on PC first and they have it crossplay, that would actually be a really good decision. But we will see.
Agreed. Agreed on a lot of what you said, but I actually think that Halo 5 coming to PC and getting a re-release on the Xbox Series X would make a lot of sense this Christmas.
Yeah, I don't think they don't have enough time to do that, though. They haven't even finished Halo 4 yet.
They've already ported the game to the Xbox Series X as part of backwards compatibility.
Yeah, I know it's there, but as far as like optimizing it for PC, there's a lot more that goes into that than just putting it there, because you have to adjust the FOV. There's lots of different things that PC players do that I would never even think about, but it's commonplace for PC games, and they would have to completely overhaul the game to do that.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I've done it for all the MCC games, and I know people are really excited about those additional features, and when they're missing, they're not happy about it.
But it's Halo 5.
Yeah, but you'd be surprised that people were really upset with like Halo CE or Halo Reach, which was never on PC before. Like I think it didn't launch with some of the normal features. Like I don't think you could adjust the FOV very much at first. I think that was like patched in like a couple weeks later, but people were not happy. However, I don't know. Going back to the MCC, I'm super excited with what they've done. The customization UI is totally different. You have a 3D model of your Spartan now, of all of the games. So even Halo 2, you have like a 3D model that rotates and you can see it. Oh, it's great. And
I think
putting in extra skins and extra helmets now too. Go on.
Well,
Sorry.
then make it an Xbox Series X exclusive launch. Launch it on the Xbox Series X and then port it to PC.
Well, I mean, it's already going to be there. So what are you trying to enhance about it?
Put it in a new box and resell it.
No, it's like, why would I buy this? This is on Game Pass. And
Well, if they added in some of the stuff that they should have had in the first place, but you're right, they're not. There's nothing. It'd be too much work at this point to fix it. Maybe they should do a re-release of Halo 5 and just have it be Halo 5 Deluxe. Go the Nintendo route.
Yeah.
From
Well,
the Wii U to the
could
Switch.
do that. Yeah, they could do that, and they could even have I don't know, just package in all the stuff that they added that's there now, and I don't know, maybe add in a couple campaign missions. I don't know how hard that would be, because they've completely changed engine, so they're not working in the engine anymore.
Well, that's a good point though. Like if they don't conclude the Cortana storyline well, then just do Halo 5 Guardians Deluxe, finish the Cortana storyline, and then bridge the gap to Infinite.
I mean, I actually was kind of hoping that there would be a smaller side story that release, like sort of like Ground Zeroes for Metal Gear Solid 5,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like a 2 hour campaign and it just bridges the story. I think that would have been cool. However, again, I don't know how they're going to do Infinite. So now, originally, I thought Infinite was going to start on like in that cutscene where you see him floating in space, but it seems that it might actually start prior to that on Reach. I'm reading through that new Halo book, and I think that the game might actually start there. So I mean, that's very much that story is very much grounded in the Cortana storyline. So I don't know how they're going to like essentially ignore Cortana through that whole campaign, which what it seems like they're going to do.
Yeah, maybe.
Because essentially the way they're doing it, not to ruin it for anyone that book, but essentially just keep they don't use satellites and they don't use any like nuclear explosions, and then Cortana doesn't know where you're at, basically. So that's essentially how they're keeping her like she's in the story without actually interacting, because like, there's a constant threat like, okay, well, if this battle gets too big, it's going to like Cortana's going to hear the chatter and she's going to send a guardian and attack us.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. I make it sound terrible, but it's great for the book. I'm just curious how it's going to work in the game.
Maybe the book takes care of Cortana.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to the end yet. I don't think it does, though, because I read the spoilers.
You're ruining the game for me, Will.
So, no. So the thing is like, I have no idea where Zeta Halo is. So it could also be like they could have moved it or something like that, or it's outside of her reach. So it doesn't matter how big of an explosions and stuff that you do. And the thing is, again, the you can clearly see that something's happened to Zeta Halo. There's been a huge battle. There's a big chunk of the ring missing. So although the first mission could be set on Reach during the story, there could be a gap in time where Cortana is actually vanquished that you don't even experience until later on in the game through cutscenes or something.
Like the Master Chief is heartbroken and trying to get over his ex-girlfriend, the AI.
Yeah. Yeah, you should read the book.
Maybe I will.
I don't want to ruin it for you. I think it does set up the game very well.
I like how we're having this serious discussion, and in the background is the
Yes.
blow-up inflatable Master Chief helmet with the Act-Man.
Yeah, the Act-Man's great.
Anyways, it says, why is Halo 5's campaign so bad?
Yes.
All right, fine. Last little thing I want to talk about. Has the game aged well?
I think the multiplayer has for sure. I still can jump in, and I think they have optimized it to a point where it's a lot more fun, even from when it launched. And I really enjoy Warzone. Again, it's would be better in the next game. I can see where they should improve. But as far as the first, like a new campaign mode is, it's unique to Halo 5. I really enjoyed it. And then the arena, again, it's very quick, very tight. It reminds me very much of Halo 2, and that's my favorite multiplayer. So I think that aged great. I enjoy it very much. And I enjoy the random playlist that they have now where they have like Fiesta and all the older Halo games. They'll have like a classic playlist where and plays like Halo 3. And I mean, I kind of wish that Halo 5 played like that anyway, but it's a lot of fun playing that in the multiplayer. The campaign is better than when it first launched because they made the AI a little bit smarter. They made the bullet sponge AIs a little bit less bullet spongy. The guns also play a little bit better than when it first launched. So,
And how great is it that we finally have a console that can play every single Halo game?
yes. You mean as far as Xbox One?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Xbox Series X.
Yeah, well, Series X will really be. No, I guess the Xbox One will as well, because technically, right now, Halo Infinite is still coming out for both, which I think is both. I'm really happy that they did that because they're not trying to split the player base. But now that's not launching, I think they should probably drop that.
No! No.
I think they should.
Listen to me, okay? I have had this going on for weeks, for months, almost a year now. Every single tech YouTuber on this platform says, drop the Xbox One. No. I think that would be a huge mistake, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
xCloud exists on both platforms right now. Game Pass exists on both platforms right now. If you drop one of those two platforms, you have segmented Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
And right now would be a mistake because Game Pass is the biggest thing that Microsoft has going for them, and with xCloud. And if you segment the population of Xbox game players right now, you ruin the launch of the Series X.
All right, fair. I think that from a marketing perspective, keeping it in there is good. I think from keeping it for all of your existing fan base is also good. I'm just worried that if it was like launching just on the X and the Series X, I'd be fine because the X is very powerful. But the original Xbox is a VCR, and that thing is going to struggle. I mean, it struggles with games now, like trying to play Star Wars, the First Order. I can't remember what that game's called now. What is the new Star Wars game that's came out? Last Jedi? No.
Squadrons?
Jedi Order? Oh my gosh, I don't know why I'm blanking.
Jedi Fallen Order?
Fallen Order, goodness gracious. So it struggles to play that game. And, the new Halo game seems like, going semi-open world and new graphics. It really does seem like it's going to potentially struggle playing that game. But they figure it out via the cloud that they've never really
implemented. If Breath of the Wild could run on the Wii U,
that's completely
different. If Halo 5 can run on the Xbox One, okay?
Barely.
It looks beautiful on the original Xbox One. I'm sorry.
You should see it on
You
the
cannot tell me any
so
different. You cannot tell me that it can't somehow scale graphics.
All right, fine. I will say that what they're probably going to do, I'm 100% certain there's going to be DLC for this game, like campaign DLC. You have the base game launch on both, and then the next story DLC is going to only be on the Series X.
I doubt it.
I think they're going to go along the lines of Destiny, where Destiny, once it got past, I don't remember which one it was now. I think it was the Taken King was the last for Destiny, and then the next DLC was only on the newer consoles.
We'll see. We'll see. I think Microsoft's gonna buy Steam next.
Yeah, well, they're gonna buy everyone. They're gonna buy Nintendo. They're gonna buy Sony.
No, you gotta hear me out. Gabe Newell started at Microsoft. It'd be really cool to see him end his career at Microsoft.
Yeah, I don't know what buying Steam would do for Microsoft at this point.
Buy Valve as a company. Bring Half-Life.
I mean, if they actually made another Half-Life, like a proper sequel, I would be happy.
Well, think about the franchises that are like, I think it's more likely they would buy Valve as a developer. Mm-hmm. But imagine having Halo VR.
That'd be cool.
Anyways, that's totally sidetracking our entire conversation. I think we've gotten through Halo 5, and as Will said, it sucked. Just kidding. As always, I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
And we are
the CHRILLCAST, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
I don't know why.